Hey, what's up? My name is Flipdrop, and I wanted to give some tips and advice for people who are trying to move out at a young age, or better yet, anyone who's trying to move out and make it an easier transition from moving out from your parents' place into your own place. I'm currently 21 and I have my own place with me and my husband, along with my sister. And I just want to give some tips and advice to people out there who are trying to find a way to move out and help making that transition easier. All I'm going to say is up front is that it takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication, and you being really determined to, be independent. And so let's get into it. So in the beginning, it was just me and my sister. Actually, my sister, she's my best friend, and my mom took her in at the time. And we've been best friends for about 10 years, and I consider her my sister at this point. So it was me and my sister in the beginning, and we really wanted to move out of my parents' place because, independence. We want to be strong, independent women. And so how we went about it is, we did our own research, we did our own advice. We had to weed out, some stuff that we found kind of like this wasn't really helpful, or this was super helpful. So I'm giving you guys helpful advice that I took from it, and like how it helped us out, me and my sister. So what we decided to do in the beginning, when we decided to take that first step to moving out, was start buying our supplies. Start buying, dishes, forks and spoons, knives, stuff for cooking, cleaning supplies, stuff that for a fact that you would need for a house. Small stuff. We did this bit by bit. We made that decision to move when I was about 18. And so we decided to buy stuff in small quantities, because the fact is when you go to the store and you're looking for stuff to for your house or for your new place, you go crazy with it. And what we did was we made a list, and we did it in categories where we were like, this is going to be for the kitchen, the bathroom, our bedrooms, the living room. And those were how we broke it down. So it was like stuff, what do we need for the living room? We need a carpet, we need furniture. What do we need for the kitchen? We need pots, pans, And for cleaning, which is going to obviously be everywhere, it's just like Lysol, Pine-Sol, the mop, the broom. And the thing about it is when you compile this list, you see how big it is. And so it's from there, as soon as you're done with that list, that's when you're going to start going through, marking down each one that you had. And slowly but surely, your pile will start growing and growing. And so what me and my sister did was we got a big storage bin, and we put that stuff in. We put it inside there, we knocked it off our list, and we went from there. And that was something that was really helpful for us when we moved into our place, was that we had all the stuff done, all the necessities done, all the miscellaneous items. We had it all done, and we had it all in that bin. So that's something that I suggest is start compiling a list of stuff that you need. I'll most likely put a link in the description about what list I had, so you guys can get a better idea for it. But that's what the first tip that I'm gonna give is that make a list of stuff that you would need. So for tip 2, I don't think people think about this a lot, but I know that for a fact it's something that you always hear. And the reason why you're hearing it all the time is because it's really good advice. Save money. Have an emergency fund. Because there will be a moment in your life when you won't be able to pay rent, because sometimes your hours get cut, you get fired, unforeseen circumstances appear. So make an emergency fund. Make an emergency fund. This is close to home because even now, currently to this day, we have emergency funds in case anything happens. There will be a time in your life, you may think that you have it all together, there's no way you can lose money. No, trust me. Save your money, have an emergency fund, and have different savings accounts. I have a savings account for fun stuff, emergency funds, other stuff as well for the future, like trips and stuff, for example. But save your money. Trust me, you will need it. That savings account can't be anything you touch at all. That savings account is something that you should only use it in case anything happens, emergencies. So biggest tip, that you'll always hear is save money, because there's a lot you're gonna be paying for. Tip 3, I don't think most people get into it until they get a little bit older, is have good credit. You know, have a decent amount of credit. Good credit is better. Some credit is better than no credit, especially in the United States. I don't think most people my age realize that credit goes a long way. For example, my first place with my sister, my credit score was really in a decent range, but it saved us from having to put a down payment on the apartment, and the down payment for the apartment was going to be $980. So that's like saving a bunch of money right there, having good credit. When I went to go set up my internet services, I didn't have to put a safety deposit down at all, and that was going to be a total of $80. This is from memories, not really facts, but that's another example, which is my Wi-Fi. My electricity bill, I didn't have to put a deposit down for that, which was going to be $120. So it was like, having good credit saves you a lot from putting down these deposits, because the fact is, if you have a reputation of bad credit, I guess to put it in better terms, like my friend described it in a better way than I would, and he called it he called it good homie credit. So it's like, for example, think about it as like you have this one friend and he's a good homie, and it's like he always helps you out, he always takes you out to go eat, they always help you out when you're in a pinch, always willing to pay for food, always willing to spot you, especially when you need it, and that's building up good homie credit. Now you have this bad homie who is like always late on paying you back money, doesn't pay you back at all, always asks you for money. That's making bad homie credit. And so take it as is. For good credit, I can dive more deep into this about building up credit, but for now, look into other researches about ways or find ways to help build up your credit now, so in the future it can save you. Because the way I started doing it is that my mom, I didn't want to get a credit card, but she helped me get a credit card. I would use that credit card for gas, and then I would make sure to pay off that credit card debt, helping me build up credit, some credit. So there's different ways about building up credit. There's more ways to look into it, but it is really in your best interest to have good credit or a decent amount of credit for you to move out. Trust me, it saves you so much money. I guess with tip 3, I know some people want to live on their own, but in my opinion, it most likely would be a good idea to look for roommates. And for roommates, I wouldn't suggest moving in with those roommates that you barely kind of know. In my opinion, you should be moving with someone that you know for a fact that has your back. Someone that you know they're very financially responsible. There's someone you know is the first. It's just like, I guess it's common sense to me, because it's like my best friend, I've known her for a long time, and I decided to move out with her because the fact is that I knew her and I got to live with her for a time being, and you should have that trust and to know that your roommate will be able to pay their bills. You know, there's more that goes into it besides having them make sure they pay bills. It's more about the fact that, are you able to live with this person with all their flaws? Because the thing about it is that you're going to be with them 24/7. You're going to see them all the time in the house. You know, sometimes it's going to be one of those things where you have to know yourself, in all honesty. With me, I've always been in a big family. I've always, I'm always used to being around people. I'm always used to sharing things. I'm always used to, living in a family environment, a big family environment. And I'm just comfortable being in that setting where everyone's making noise, someone's always up, always cleaning up the house. And I'm used to that because I've come from that type of setting. But some people who are, for example, an only child, they're not going to be used to that, when they're seeing someone else all the time. And the thing about it is that it's on you to gauge your roommate, to gauge that potential roommate that you're looking into, because it's like, are you going to be really comfortable with them, like, hanging up the laundry in the bathroom, them leaving their trash everywhere, them not washing dishes? It's like, the thing about it is that people don't realize that what you see from someone at school, for example, or in a workplace, you're only getting like a smidget of how they are. But when you're living with them in a house or your own place, you're seeing them for who they really are. And that's what people don't realize, is that, fuck. My biggest takeaway from this is that make sure you know your roommates and make sure that you can trust them. It's basically really on you to know whether or not you can. You can't be lying to yourself or trying to, like, you know, persuade yourself into being more lenient about things, because you will get to a boiling point, you know. So gauge your roommates. Oof. So I hope this helped. So I hope this video helped you out with like figuring out how to move out and like putting the prep work for it. But other than that, thank you for watching and I appreciate it.